All right. I think it's about time we dive into this thing. Episode 10. Man. What a game this has been. I think last stream, I titled the highlight after it all was said and done, Catharsis, because those final moments when Bernard Babel raided right in the middle of us hearing the fucking Nelly and Mel song again, I just was so, like, it was like a train hit me with emotions, just like we're back after months and months and months. I mean, truly months of this. Thank you so much for 11 gifted subs for that hype train. That's incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much. You do have chestnut praline lattes in Canada. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I received an emote. What emote did everybody else get? I got hype moi. But his tongue's out, little sicko. Name's moi, like it's a kissing emote, but then his tongue's out. Gross. You think you have everyone? Yeah. I had them for like the previous seasons, but not for this one, I suppose. I like these stupid ones. We were spamming these in Tay's chat earlier. Never heard. I have heard of a French kiss, but that's not a French kiss is not just like a moi kind of thing. A French kiss is like, you know, it's a little more personal and private and intimate than like, mwah. You know what? Yeah, different sound, different tone. Right, more of a slurp. All right, and with that, we're back. The house in Fata Morgana. We are in door 6, I believe, right? That is how dogs kiss. All right, I'm back. You know what? I'm back, Nancy. You're right. That is how dogs kiss. We're in door 6. Then there's the French horn. I had a friend that played the French horn. Thought he was so cool for it. Man. Just hit me with it. We're back. Fucking French horn hipsters. That got blocked because of fucking French. Fucking French. Just soak in it for a minute. Man, it's good to be back. We're in door 6. This is from the perspective of the Maid. The Maid who we now know to be Giselle. At the end of last episode, last week when we played this, we learned the real truth between Michelle and Giselle's love and romance together. And at the end of it, in a very tragic string of events, Michelle was hunted down inside his own home after being under the understanding that he could finally go back home because his father had passed away. And so Michelle and Giselle were getting ready to go home when men with torches and weapons broke into the house and killed Michelle. And in Michelle's last moments, he spoke to the witch in his own nebulous thoughts one final time and made the witch promise that she would take care of Giselle and protect Giselle until everyone was gone. Thank you for the lurk, cheesesteak. When the house settled down, Giselle, the door opened to the room that she was being protected in, and the witch, Morgana, confronted Giselle for the first time and said, "I'll cut you a deal." And the deal was this. The deal, I'm going to kind of paraphrase. Basically, she is going to reconstruct Michelle across time. She can't just bring him back to life, but she can reconstruct him. Now, what reconstruct means in her context, we don't quite know yet. But what she can do for Giselle is kind of freeze Giselle in time. And that's what she did. Froze Giselle in time and pulled the house into this floating dark abyss and said, listen, you are now my maid. Giselle, I am the witch and you are now my maid. I am going to have guests in this house who, I believe she said something along the lines of have to atone for their sins. They have to confront their own personal sins, and I need you to be the housekeeper for this house in the meantime. In exchange, I will reconstruct your love, your dearest Michelle, and you and Michelle, your love, will be able to reconnect someday down in time. I'm not telling you when, I'm not telling you how, but first you have to do these things for me. Which started basically a 500-year slumber period between 1099 and the late 1500s, which is where we are now, early 1600s, late 1500s. And at the end of last episode, the dark abyss cleared away, and suddenly Giselle, who had spent 500 years in the dark, was able to step outside for the first time again and see the green grass, see a little flowing stream, and she was introduced to a man. I forget his first name, but his last name is very important because his last name is Rhodes, and he is the grandfather or great-grandfather of Nellie and Mel Rhodes, who you may remember from literally episodes 1 and 2 of this game months and months and months and months ago. Hayden Rhodes. So we're going to get back into things here. I've got my tea in my Shin Megami Tensei, Jack-O, and Jack Frost mug. It's time. The House in Fata Morgana, Episode 10. For a member of an esteemed noble family, Hayden was a bit on the eccentric side. He only hired a handful of servants, claiming he was not fond of clamor. There was a single chef, a physician, a servant to take care of all the cleaning, and then me, who was hired as his personal assistant. Whenever he got the chance, Hayden would chase me down and make me practice proper etiquette. According to him, I had much to learn. You are, Ed. I forgot my voice for him. At least technically, a servant of the Rhodes family, young lady. So I can't have you going around paying the Country Bumpkin Act. I almost said Country Blumpkin. Yes, sir. Yeah, just do Jacopo for every male character I can't think of for anybody else. You miss him? You would. You would. And we'll have something to do about that accent, too, while we're at it. I have an accent? Huh, thicker than bloody molasses. Now, I have no interest in sticking my nose into your business, asking where you hail from, but while you're here, you must act the part, young lady. Lucky for you. I'm retired and have all the time in the world. I'll teach you everything you need to know about proper etiquette. All right. Speak up, will ya? Yes, sir. Hayden did not go easy on me either. In addition to my day-to-day duties, I studied etiquette, the language, proper pronunciation, and formal diction. Anytime I made the slightest mistake, he would shout his dissatisfaction. Listen carefully. A servant is the face of a house. A servant's gaff is her master's gaff. Always keep this in mind. You are not just a maid. You must always act with elegance and grace. You must always maintain your composure, even if the house is falling down around you. Whatever happens, you deal with it quickly and quietly. Your language must be immaculate. No ums, uhs, or pauses for any reason. Yes, sir. No stammering either. Sorry. Bloody hell, you are not going to make this easy, are you? Whose idea was it that a country bumpkin would make a good servant? I'd like to give him a piece of my mind. not from the country. Not even slightly. I was raised in the capital. Is that so, eh? A prim and proper city girl, are ya? In that case, you should be a quick study. Absolutely. I can learn anything in a week, tops. Piece of cake. Is that so? All right then. Starting tomorrow, I'm tripling your lessons. Oh, I didn't think this through. In addition to being my master, Hayden was my teacher. When he yelled, he grew twice his size, and I shrunk to half of mine. But it wasn't at all an unpleasant experience because I knew he wasn't raising his voice to belittle me. His instruction may have been harsh, but it was human interaction. There were people around that I could talk to, and that was wonderful. Uh-oh, that's a bad sign. I was starting to regain some of my humanity. A hiccup's a bad sign for a reading stream. Unlike me, you've still got a long life ahead of you, young lady. I don't know what kind of life you've lived, but I can't imagine it's been all that easy. Not many servant girls your age without a home to go back to. Which is why you need to learn this. Once you've got all the rules and customs down, you'll be able to hold your own at any noble's estate. You shouldn't have any trouble keeping yourself employed. I'm sure you think I'm just a loud, obnoxious old man, but I believe we met for a reason, so I hope you'll stick with me. I don't think about you like that at all, Master. You're a remarkable man. One more time. I deeply appreciate your generous consideration, Master, from the bottom of my heart. Aye. I didn't know much about Hayden's situation, why he had retired to this mansion all alone, away from the rest of his family. But any time I asked about them, he would say, it happens sometimes, with a melancholic frown. Before long, 2 years had passed. By that point, my etiquette had improved enough to satisfy his high standards. In that time, the mansion underwent a number of decor changes, as Hayden brought in sculptors to work on different areas of the house. He also sealed off rooms that were not in use, such as the observation tower and the chapel. It was a sad thing, seeing areas with so many memories for me falling into disuse, but as a mere servant, I had no say in the matter. In addition, Hayden seemed to be greatly enjoying renovating the house, so I watched him warmly. The furniture was all gradually replaced, gorgeous paintings hung on the walls, colorfully patterned curtains installed. And a brilliant rose garden planted. These roses come from all across the world. Nowhere else can you see so many different varieties in one place. It's beautiful. Did you know that in the city, people are starting to call the mansion Rose Manor? Rose Manor? And to think there used to be nothing but weeds here. Amazing how much it has changed. I never thought I would see this garden turned into something so beautiful. Are you fond of roses, young lady? Yes, red ones especially. Red roses mean a great deal to me. They remind me of a time long past. Given one as a gift, were you? No, I believe I was the one who gave the rose. So red roses are a symbol of my feelings. They're very precious to me. I gave you a rose as a gift. Honestly, I gotta say, 500 years of remembering that? Insane. Yo, what's up, Tiny King? Snickers are your favorite? You and your post-Halloween slump? You plucked it from its stem and placed it in my hair. Am I remembering correctly? My memories are so vague now. I can't even remember the look on your face that day. There are some kids I'd like to give roses to myself. Who? My grandchildren. Oh my, you have grandchildren? Aye, though we haven't been in touch for some time. Last I saw them was 4 years ago, when my second grandchild was born. The sweetest girl in the world. with lovely flaxen hair. It do got the veins on them. It do. She's going to be a real beauty when she grows up. Anyway, they're wonderful kids. And one day I want to hand this garden over to them. Each and every rose containing my hope that they'll lead comfortable, healthy lives, free of strife. Who's gonna tell him? 500 Years of Memories is bonkers. I like to play with memory errors with undead and D&D because their brains are human but not meant to store all that. Imagine centuries of memories. There's no way.
Gaming.
My throat's really starting to hurt right here. I may have to get up and have a cold glass of water or something opposed to the tea. I don't mean to give out a bad omen for the start of this stream, but this might not be a full length one because I can already feel the strain right here from a full week of not talking much. I'm sure your wish will come to pass. Your grandchildren will have wonderful lives. Aye. Not sore throat, just I didn't really talk too much this week, and now I'm back talking again. The grief of not having you around still weighed heavily on my mind, but I was slowly approaching contentedness. Life with Hayden was slow and uneventful, peaceful and relaxing. I imagined my heart was seeking anything to alleviate its pain, and it found that in the beautifully remodeled mansion, the garden blooming wildly with roses, and my time with Hayden. I was even beginning to think this life was enough for me. That I would be okay with this being the end, if it meant more of the tranquility I had felt. I was, like a coward, considering giving up the fight. Please, do forgive me for ever considering such a thing. Need to warm up those pipes with a chestnut praline latte? Yeah, I had ramen with some leftover steak from a steak fried rice. I just picked the steak out and put it into a ramen. And I had a LaCroix. But besides that, I mean, this tea is kind of it. I don't know. I think it feels muscular more than anything else. It feels like right here. Like I need a massage right is precisely right here. Right there. Hayden seemed to be in high spirits that day. A gift had apparently arrived from his son, who lived far away. In it was a tea set, some leaves, and a small jar of sugar. Miss! How can I be of service, master? Oh, brew me up a pot of this, would you? Be careful not to steep it for too long. You want to get it just right for the best flavor. As you wish, master. You seem quite pleased. Why would I be? A boy who's shunned his old man for years sends him a paltry gift on a whim? I'm just entertaining his fancy. Your tea is ready, master. Ah, what a wonderful smell. Tea and roses are life's best damned spices. Now, let's see what that boy chose for me. If it's no good, I'll be sure to write him an angry letter. He looks so happy. He must really love his family. It's a little bitter. Shall I brew another pot? Oh no, it's not your fault. Must be something in the leaves. Would you like to add some sugar then? There was a small jar of it with the tea set. Now that's some bloody fine sugar he's procured. White as snow and sparkles in the light. He chose it just for you, master. Bloody hell, what demon possessed him? All right, give me 2 spoons then. Yes, master. Here you are. Ah, splendid. This is some exquisite tea. The sugar balances the bitterness of the leaves perfectly. I guess that boy does have some... Master? 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 The doctor! I need to find the doctor! Oh, water! I'll get you some water right away, so please hang in there. Dude. Whoo! Thanks to the quick treatment provided by his personal physician, Hayden survived. But he didn't make it out with much more than his life. He was permanently bedridden by the affair. Evidently, the sugar I had put in his tea had contained poison, which had done irreparable damage to his nerves and muscles. Most of his body was completely immobile except for his left arm. Damn. Whoa, this shot. Been a long time since we've seen this bedroom. Can I bring you something? Some water. Oh, I've had more than my fill of water. You don't need to wait on me hand and foot. That face says you need to distract yourself by working. Remember what I told you. A noble family's servants must always act with elegance and grace. You must always maintain your composure. But how can you expect me to remain composed? If I had only examined the sugar more thoroughly. Oh, you never would have noticed, young lady. I examined the sugar and didn't see a bloody thing wrong with it. He was damn crafty, that's for sure. Why would he do this? His inheritance, I presume. Something must have come up and he needed money quickly. Oh, that's no reason to poison your own father. Blood is nothing but an obstacle to ambition. Or maybe he just hated me. How could anyone possibly hate you? Perhaps that could be said of the me you know. But when you live as long as I have, you're bound to make an enemy or two. Cute line, talking to the 600-year-old maid. Mine just happened to be my son. I was planning to give him everything anyway. He didn't have to do this. It all would have been his. Master. Killing me doesn't accomplish anything. But I guess it doesn't much matter. Say, could I ask you something, young lady? What can I do for you? Well, I don't want it to get out that Hayden Rhodes was poisoned, so could you tell people that I passed away peacefully, with a beautiful nurse tending to my every need? You're not dead yet. Please, don't talk like that. You're scaring me. No stammering. But I'm not saying it'll happen immediately, yet I am an old man, and one day you'll wake up, and I'll be gone. This is about my own pride, not my son. The last thing I want is to go out with a black spot on my name. Tell me you'll do this, Giselle. He's never said my name before. As you wish. Thank you. You're a peculiar girl, you know. Sometimes you seem greener than leaves in summer, and sometimes you seem like you've seen 12 kinds of hell. And every so often, well, you seem not of this world. Your skin is pale, your hands as cold as ice. At one point I thought you might be Death himself. But I was wrong about that. You have too big a heart to be Death. You care too much. You must be carrying a very heavy cross on your back. What am I supposed to do? I don't want to lose you, Lord Hayden. I don't want to lose this life. You have someone, don't you, young lady? Someone you're dying to meet again? Yes, but I don't know anymore. I don't know how long I'm supposed to keep waiting. If something doesn't happen soon, I don't think I can hold myself together much longer. I was so close to breaking down, and it was you who kept me on my feet. I'm sure you've tried to remain strong plenty of times, so I'll give you some different advice. A trick for when you think you're losing hold of yourself. Build a cocoon. A cocoon? Gather up all the blankets in your home, put them on your bed, and just cover yourself with all of them. Don't let any light in. It'll be your own little private, happy place. A sturdy shell to keep your weak inner self safe. This world has no interest in protecting you, only swallowing you whole. What if that was his big advice? Gather up, make a little blanket for it? So you mustn't readily expose your true self. You build a cocoon, and you play the role you need to play. That way, the real you will remain unharmed. Oh, it's not pleasant to hide yourself like that, but it's better than letting the world crush you. But a word of warning. You spend too long in the cocoon, and the real you is liable to disappear forever. Use the chairs to support the blankets, Giselle. You can even play your Nintendo Switch without being disturbed. You'll be swallowed up by your own protective shell. I hope you find whoever it is before it's too late. Now, I think I'll get some sleep. All this talking's worn me out. As you wish. Good night, Master. See you in the morning. Aye. See you in the morning, young lady. I was just talking about X-Files last week on the way back from Dollywood with my friends. I feel like it's the next one I really want to watch through. I think I'd really love it. The next day, Hayden was dead. He had strangled himself with his left hand. Whoa! That's crazy. I thought that's not, physically possible. I should have been more attentive. I should have recognized how much pain he was in, how much it crushed him to have been betrayed by his own family. I should have realized how he truly felt, how fragile he really was. You fall unconscious and would let go until you die. That's true. You lean in. Yeah, you could. Whatever. Who cares? Story time. I fell into a hopeless gloom. I could hardly believe that the quiet life I had finally attained had been shattered in the blink of an eye. Right, that's what he did. Hayden's other servants quickly went their own ways, and I vividly remember the dirty looks they all gave me. Right. When you live as long as Hayden has, you learn a few tricks. Everyone who knew how he had died assumed I had done it. I had no reason to kill him, though, but they had more than enough to believe so, for I had indeed been the last person to see him alive, and I held firmly to the story he had asked me to tell. While I was unable to convince the other servants, his family was far more accepting of the story that he had departed for the next world happily, though that did not make the truth any less heartbreaking, especially since I was the only one who knew it. Why does this always have to happen? I was happy, but I can never seem to keep hold of it for more than a flash. Despair always comes marching in to rip it away. What am I doing here? What kind of person were you, Michelle? What kind of person was I? Oh, my dear, you look positively miserable. Why should you despair at the death of some strange old geezer? Morgana, was Hayden one of those whom you wished to be reconstructed? Oh, I have no interest in that wrinkled bag of bones. And if he was one of them, do you really think I would have let him go so peacefully? Peaceful? You call that peaceful? You call his misery peaceful? Oh, I most certainly do. And since you do not seem to understand this, the pain of death lasts but an instant. The worst torture can only be inflicted upon the living. Setting two loved ones against one another, manipulating one into taking the other's life, and then forcing him to live with that. Hey, that sounds like something we know. That sounds like something we know. The stage hasn't even been set yet, my dear. And you would have me play a part in that? Oh, indeed. You agreed to accompany me. You are here to be my guide, and you're doing a wonderful job of it so far. I haven't done anything. Oh, but you killed that old man, did you not? Thanks to you, my wish is one step closer to fruition. What? What do you mean I killed Hayden? Oh, you mean to claim you didn't? Tell me, who was it that put the poisoned sugar in his tea? No, I didn't mean to. Your intentions are irrelevant. Everything moves along the path forged by my wish, and you shall continue to follow its will. Rrr. You know what? Oh, you know what? I'm done feeling like this. I don't want anyone else to go through what Hayden did. And what are you going to do about it? I'm done listening to you. Without me, you have no influence over this world. Oh. So I'll die. I'll take my own life right here and now. I grabbed a nearby knife and held the tip against my breast. My hands were shaking, my heart pounding. My whole body was racked with terror, but I could have sworn I heard Morgana gasp. This was her one weakness, I thought. What are you thinking? Don't do this, Giselle. Do not be foolish. Put the knife down right now. I'm done. I'm done trusting anything you say. Giselle, put the knife down. I've missed you so very much, Michelle. I've wanted nothing more than to see you again, but if my being Morgana's guide is going to cause other people suffering, then I can't. It's all over, Morgana. Huh? There's no blood? Not even pain. Why? Absolutely brilliant. I told you not to be foolish, but you just wouldn't listen to me. Oh, such a silly girl. I really am. I couldn't even die if I wanted to. Learning that absolutely crushed me. My backup plan, the one escape route I had, thought available to me, had been ripped away. My spirit crumbled and I felt myself sinking into a vast darkness. I began losing grip on myself, which is when I recalled Hayden's advice. Build a cocoon. It was the only option I had left, my final chance at protecting myself. Although ultimately I was unsuccessful in that endeavor, as you know. But by that point, my mind and spirit had all but been lost, eroded away by years of solitude, the witch's whispers, the brief glimmer of happiness, and the eternal boundless darkness it had left me in. It was in that moment that all light drained from my eyes, and it was in that moment that the Maid was born. Hey, that's what I named today's episode. Morgana actually canonically sounds like Barrett from FF7. What's up, Jesse? One of the Fuck. Oh, God. With my sore throat, you're expecting me to be these chuckle fucks again? Oh, no. Oh, no. One of the epilogues, like sequel games, expansion games, has full voice acting. So I'm curious to see what everybody sounds like compared to, like, my voices. Oh, God. I don't. Give me a second. Let me get water or something. I'll be right back. I'll be right. The voices are crazy. I'm sure they are. I'll be right back. One sec. You just look at her for dearest Mel. Fuck me. We're back. We're back. Let me get water. All right. It's been so long. It's been months. Oh, shit. I took an Advil, too. See if that helps out whatever's hurting here. Whew.
Oh, dearest Mel, come over here. There are so many beautiful flowers. Now, Nellie, there's no need to run. You're gonna fall, and you can't say I didn't warn you. Hello, I've never seen you before. Are you the new maid?
Good afternoon, Lady Nellie. That is correct. It is an honor to serve you.
Oh, did you do all this?
I did not. The garden was your grandfather, Lord Hayden's work.
Wow, is grandfather a wizard?
Perhaps he was. I'm sure he would be delighted to know you like it.
Did grandfather like flowers?
Oh yes, he loved them, quite dearly.
Wow, I love flowers too. I've never seen a garden with so many pretty flowers. You know, did you know this kind of flower is called a rose? Just like our name.
Why yes, they do sound alike. And like the flowers, you are also a very sweet little girl.
Say, what's your favorite color of rose?
Oh, I like all the colors.
But you don't like any the most? Oh, that's too bad. My favorite is pink. Pink roses are so pretty.
Oh, indeed they are.
Ah, geez. There you are, Nellie. Oh, my apologies. Please don't mind my sister.
Dude, he's got new drip. Look at his hair.
Oh, not at all. We were having the most wonderful time.
Oh, that's good. I imagine we'll be seeing each other around, so it's a pleasure to... Dearest Mel, let's see what the inside's like. Mother says I have my very own room. Slow down, Nellie. I beg your pardon?
The inseparable siblings ran off toward the mansion, hand in hand. It was a heartwarming sight. But the next moment when they stepped inside, I saw something else. The darkness enveloping the mansion seemed to flare up, the open door a gaping maw into its hungry bowels. The whole house looked as though it was cackling. It was, I presume, the witch Morgana's madness taking form, a manifestation of how she felt now that her centuries in the making wish was bearing fruit. Those two children were the ones Morgana had been waiting for. Had I still had any willpower to fight left in me, I would have taken them by the hands and sent them somewhere far away. I would have done something before the house swallowed them up. But instead, I just gently lowered my eyes. Misfortune would surely sink its teeth into those 2 children before long. Pain and misery would befall them. I knew no good lay ahead for them, but my heart had all but frozen solid. I had my hands full taking care of myself. So I let Hayden's beloved grandchildren fall into the witch's hands. I was, for all intents and purposes, Morgana's marionette. At long last it has arrived. The time I've been waiting for so long for has arrived. Darling, devoted Giselle, I know not how to describe for you the fiery excitement burning within me. Oh, I know. I can tell you my story. Tell you exactly what that mild-mannered little boy once did. You'll be open to listening now, won't you, my dear? And you'll surely understand that I am doing nothing wrong. Because you're my ally, my trusty servant. You and I, we live in the same world. We're as close as family, are we not? Yes, as you say. So let us curse them, all of them. Let us inflict a pain worse than physical torture on them. Let us put their souls on the rack for all eternity. Curse them. Make them suffer. Curse them. Now, listen carefully, Giselle. This is a tale of wicked men, and my curse upon them. The witch spat her curses for some time. The bile overflowing from her words, the pure, unadulterated hatred brimming from within, consumed me more than the horrifying things they described. She was brutally honest, each word a carefully sharpened blade of animosity. How much bitterness did you have to carry inside you to become like her? How long did you have to feel nothing but hatred to become like her? I felt like if I let my guard down, I would be consumed by her envy. It would become mine, and I would grow to despise them myself. All the while, I kept my mind on one single thing. That is, what was left of my mind, locked away inside a shell of my own creation. It was that solitary truth that allowed me to hold on to my human emotions and to continue believing. I'm always waiting. My love will never fade. When I was still my old self, I called them master and would do anything for them. Michelle, that was their name. They were beautiful. They had pearly white hair and ruby eyes. They're going to come for me.
Damn. Let's go.
Michelle, all I can remember about you is your name, your glassy white skin, your fiery red eyes, and your snow-colored hair. Nothing else.
Right, everything else was just completely obfuscated, and except for the booba.
And that's why, when I saw her that night, dripping from the storm raging outside, I thought, you're finally here. Because I didn't remember enough to know any better. You already know who I speak of, don't you? The person who called upon Rose Manor that fated stormy night. The girl with the almost translucently pale skin, chillingly white hair, and eyes like jewels. What a beautiful girl. Her hair, her eyes, her porcelain skin. It all matches the person in my memories. She must be the one I've been waiting for. And if she is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within this house. A witch? I've not heard any such stories. Oh, you probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? A peculiar presence, she says. Does she sense something in me as I do her? This has to be her, then. Her name. I need to ask her name. It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you, but first, may I ask you one thing? Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name? My name is Michelle. I knew it. You are the one. What? You are the one I have been waiting for. I've endured so much in anticipation of this moment, so that I could reunite with you. You came to this place to see me again, did you not? Held tight to those wonderful memories until you could make it back to me. I never gave up hope. I always believed. And I hope you'll praise me for that. And I ask you to please say my name. Please make me. I don't know anything about you. I'm sorry. You seem to be confusing me for someone. We've never met before now. You jest. You are Michelle, are you not? That is my name. Yes, but it is a fairly common name. Surely you're confusing me with... Oh, that cannot be. That white hair, white skin, those red eyes, and that name. The name of the Archangel. Everything about you is the same. How can you say you're not my Michelle? Please, Michelle, remember, for me. Stay away from me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. You would reject me? I'm so sorry. I honestly don't know you. Do you care nothing anymore for the time we spent together? We've not spent any time together. You would deny everything. I'm sorry. I see. So you feel nothing for me anymore. You do not need to say anything. I understand. You're feeling a great deal of disgust toward me. No, or perhaps it's fear. Yes, you were always so kind. You would not easily allow yourself to succumb to hatred. I understand. Please, forget everything I have said. Who are you? I am but a simple maid. Nothing more. Laughable, isn't it? I no longer recognized Michelle as anything more than a concept, man or woman, elderly or infant, as long as they had white hair, red eyes, and the right name, they were you. I needed anything I could get. I was so desperate the thought never even crossed my mind that she was not you. What do you think, seeing me like this? That I'm helpless and hopeless? Listen to this, Morgana. Michelle is back. She's finally come for me. But she doesn't remember anything, it seems. Not me, not our past, nothing. She saw me and was afraid, in fact. Are you listening, Morgana? Ah, darling, devoted Giselle. You poor, pitiful soul. That must have been quite harrowing. But don't worry. You still have me. Oh, besides, this might not be your only chance. As long as you continue on, Michelle could appear before you again. Do you think she'll remember me next time? I can't say. Well, that's up to Michelle. You do have another option, though. Forget Michelle yourself. Seek out a new master. Someone who can be yours. Someone dedicated and faithful. Someone who needs you. Someone worthy of this mansion. Someone who needs me. That's right. Michelle didn't need you after all. Oh, it's all right. Don't worry. You have plenty of time.
There they are. 10 episodes. The full arc. And everybody's back. There's Nellie's room. And the painting. And the secret truth. Oh, not yet. That's not yet. That was when she was just berating her when they were moving the room around. Here's the story of the witch. Man, we've been through a lot with this, huh? And we still have everybody else's. We get to see Pauline again. Yo, we get to see Pauline again. This track is so fucking good. Pauline's the MVP of the whole game. Right, this is the Leo pointing meme. Pointing at the TV. Damn. Oh, so they skipped over. So this has to be... Yeah, that has to be after it all, huh? And this is her talking about the rain.
It's raining again today. I kind of wonder what happened to him after he fled from the mansion.
Do you remember Mel telling the white-haired girl how his grandfather died in Act 1? Didn't he say died having sex? Isn't that what he said? Wasn't that his whole thing? Yeah, his grandpa died having sex. God damn it. All right, here's our epilogue from Mel, dearest Mel.
After he fled from the mansion, although I suppose it doesn't much matter to me. The witch is surely watching him. Such a dreadful storm. It sounds like someone crying. I was, at that point, completely out of my mind. Broken. My smiles, frowns, and gasps had all been replaced with imitations. Shortly afterward, The flaxen-haired boy moved out of the house and went on to become a priest. The girl fell ill a few years later, her disease eventually taking her life. But the boy never once returned home. The Rhodes family crumbled. I couldn't bring myself to grieve for them, or to reflect on Hayden's sorrowful end. I simply waited for time to begin moving once more.
Father Mel. We're going forward. That was it. To 1707. Pauline time. Well, I guess beast time. Get your beast modes ready.
Little remains to be said about my broken self, but as I stated before we began, this is the Maid's tale. So I would like to take this opportunity to elaborate on events I was unable to show you before. That is, if you can bear listening to such a dismal, miserable story.
Talk about a good song.
I already told you of my meeting with the beast, so I will begin the second tale from here.
It's a good one, John.
After Bestia slaughtered the merchant who showed up at the mansion, his mad laughter echoing through the halls.
Let's go. Oh, we're back. These are self-progressing, by the way. I'm not pressing going forward on them. Yukimasa is such a fucking freak. Sicko. Look at him. Look at how much he's laughing. Look at this. Nobody laughs this much. Yeah, seriously. Hey, did you hear that? Did you hear his screams? He said I was a monster.
A mutilated body lay sprawled across the living room floor. As you can imagine, that was my first time ever seeing such a bloody, mangled corpse. I could not look directly at it, so I averted my eyes.
Hey, you saw it. I just proved that beasts are stronger than humans.
Indeed, you did.
Ah, I know. I've got a great idea. You asked if I wanted to become the master, and I said I did. Which means you work for me, isn't that right? So you'll do whatever I tell you to do, won't you?
What would you have me do?
Oh, chop up his arms and legs and make a stew out of him. And don't you hesitate or you'll end up like him.
Yes, master.
Oh, so he was eating a little bit. It was like unconfirmed whether he was eating a little bit.
He's trying to assert his total dominance over me. That's not proper behavior for the master. Although I am the one who offered him the role.
Do it.
He's an utterly mad beast. But am I really all that different? There's blood all over my hands. It sounds like someone laughing. Is it him? Or is it her? No matter what happens, it won't affect me. The cocoon is not the real me. I was looking down at what could only be described as a pile of human debris. I had done this, but the fact did not register with me. I felt nothing at all. Not regret, not anger, not sorrow or despair.
Put it on the fire. He said he traded in spices. That should give him a very unique flavor. Alright, fucking Mrs. Lovett Pie Shop.
How am I supposed to work with this? I was quite simply puzzled. No one had ever made such a request of me in my hundreds of years at the mansion. That's all I was. Puzzled. But he interpreted it as hesitation or fear, so he grabbed me by the shoulder, knocked me to the floor, and skewered me with that curious blade of his. For the first few moments, he wore that deranged grin of his. But as the moments passed, it slowly transformed into shock. Not a drop of blood spilled from my breast, and the instant he realized it, I saw revulsion in his eyes. Him, of all people. A man who cackled as he slaughtered others was disgusted by a mere maid. It was absurd. So much so I almost wanted to cry. You! Is that all, master? Are you not going to dismember me? You could try stabbing my face, or my neck, or my stomach, or any other part of me. Perhaps then I might die. Oh, now, don't look at me like I'm some kind of exotic creature. Stop that! Quit laughing! Why should I? My only distinctive feature is my smile. I have nothing else. My hands are covered in blood, but I can still smile. It's ridiculous. I get it now. You're the witch, aren't you? I see. Only monsters ever had a place here. Every so often I hear a woman's voice in my head. That's you, isn't it? You're the witch. Monster, witch, maid. What am I? Who is Giselle? Michelle said she was spirited, true to herself, that she often laughed and cried and shouted.
The most tender of memories just washed away.
But I don't know anyone like that. I'm just a maid, nothing more than a servant. The woman's voice he said he had heard was probably the real witch's, but I had no interest in that. I almost would have preferred not having to think about anything at all. Nothing would cause me to waver if my head was empty. A world without joy or sorrow sounds quite wonderful, but nothing ever went the way I planned. For the white-haired girl, whom I thought I'd never see again, appeared before me once more. I was quite nearly in a panic. Beneath my perfectly practiced smile was a veritable storm of emotions. Faint hope flared up within my shell. Perhaps this time Michelle would remember me. But that hope was, unsurprisingly, in vain. Is someone there? Yes. I came by to ask if there was anything you needed. I cannot offer you anything extravagant, not like before, but I am here to provide you with anything in my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night is more than enough. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I've been here for a very, very long time. A very long time? You might think this is an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. And I get the feeling I've been in this mansion before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and a girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair. I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember anything this time either. But I will not be so pushy this time. I could not bear to be so blatantly rejected again. I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times, and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might your name be? My name? My name is Michelle. White hair, red eyes, and the name Michelle. Why must you continue to bring me pain? Why can you not set me free as you were supposed to? I see, so you are Michelle again. Again? You should get some rest. I'll make tea for you in the morning. Also, go on, close your eyes. The white-haired girl lay so quietly in her bed, I could not tell whether she was asleep or awake. Even the sound of her breathing was too faint to hear. Standing over her, looking down at her, the locked-away despair and wails of lamentation I thought myself no longer capable of came bubbling back to the surface. But can you honestly blame me? I'd been waiting for Michelle for so long. She was the one thing holding me up. She was the only thing keeping my broken self from falling apart completely. Yet she claimed not to remember me. Did you pity her, having to go through tragedy after tragedy? But every time she showed up, she said she did not know me, bringing me more and more grief. I had been waiting hundreds of years, waiting for so long, my mind slipping away with every passing day. Waiting, and waiting, and wait. My apologies. I have to be careful or I'll slip back to what I was then. If you weren't here holding my hand now, Tell me, you are Michelle, aren't you? That's a relief to hear. Yes. Thank you, I'm all right. Do you think I'm as muddled as I feel? Let us return to the tale then. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know how much it hurts for someone you've waited so long for to say they don't know you. You have no idea how much it crushes me. Rather than feel like this anymore, maybe I should just end it all with my own hands. I reached my hands out toward her slender neck. I was not an especially strong woman, but I thought even I would be able to suffocate her with relative ease. She was blind at that, so she wouldn't be able to run. However, there was one thing I could not bring myself to do. I can't do it. I ran and I ran and I ran, though I knew I had nowhere to run, plunging myself into the mansion's darkness. I did not want to be there any longer. I did not want to have anything to do with her. But being an inhuman inhabitant of the house, I could not close my eyes or plug my ears to what happened within its walls, as much as I may have wanted to. It didn't matter where I was. I had no say in the matter. I was forced to observe the events until their tragic conclusion. Twisted, bloody madness, their wretched wails creating a whirlwind of misery. When it was all over, Morgana cackled like a little girl.
Damn.
Go on. You have a laugh too, my dear. There's nothing in the world better than this. He was a beast, through and through. And what a fool he was, to think he could become human. Oh, I love it. He destroyed everything he had with his own hands, and then couldn't even manage to mourn for it. Quite the unfortunate fate, wouldn't you say? Go on, laugh with me. Laugh with me, my darling, devoted Giselle. Michelle is dead too, though. Oh, you're worried about that tiny little detail. She'll show up again, of course, so you don't need to worry about a thing. You don't need to feel bad about any of this carnage. Rest easy, my darling, devoted Giselle. If you say so, then I shall not be concerned. Yes, that's good. Laugh. Laugh, my dear.
Ah, fuck. Earth Nuggets. Calling Earth Nuggets. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-ding-a-ling-ding-a-ling. Calling Earth Nuggets. Your boy's back.
I apologize for making you listen to my dreadful stories for so long. You must be quite weary of them by now. But worry not, for this is the final one. And despite being the end, it is neither dramatic nor exciting. It was a single phrase, the most insignificant of things, that caused me to completely lose myself and forget I had long ago been the woman called Giselle. There was no malice in it. It was but a simple greeting.
Hey, a toots. That's all he had to say.
Do you remember how, the first time she arrived, Michelle said I had a peculiar presence about me? She felt something there between us. And the second time, she said something about me seemed familiar. She didn't remember why, but her soul recognized the bonds we had shared. So I assumed that the next time she showed up, she would feel something even stronger, or perhaps even have her memories. Despite having been let down again and again, I still held on to the faintest glimmer of hope. But when she appeared, she was someone else's wife.
Hey, head maid. Hey, get out here.
I'm right here, sir. Is something the matter?
I figured you should get to know her as soon as possible, since you'll be spending a lot of time looking after her. Hey, get out here. Christ, not a goddamn confident bone in your body, is there?
I'm sorry, I'll be right out. The first thing she said when she saw me was, "It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you." What had I spent all that time waiting for? It was all for naught. It was all meaningless. In this era, she felt nothing at all for me. In retrospect, it makes enough sense. But for me at the time, that was the end.
So about 750 years.
Morgana, Morgana, cast me into darkness, make me a formless being like you. I don't want to be here another second. I don't want to look at her ever again. Morgana, Morgana, please, listen to me. I'm begging you. Now. What's the matter, my dear? It's not like you to throw a tantrum. I can't take it anymore. I can't do this. Michelle again. Oh, you poor thing. Betrayed 3 times now. Morgana, you pitiful girl. Don't groan like you're having a bad dream, my dear. I am here for you. Please, Morgana, erase me from existence. But if you go away, then I will be all alone, and that would be absolutely dreadful. But I... Tell me, what torments you so, my dear?
What's going on, Fix? This is episode 10. We've been playing since mid-August. So, about 2.5 months now.
What? Michelle, whom I've been waiting for so long, doesn't... Oh, you poor thing.
You've spent so long riding the currents of time that you've lost sight of yourself. And I'll tell you, Fix, we're not even close. We got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. But welcome in. I hope you're doing well.
What? No, you've convinced yourself that someone else's story is your own. Someone else's? Yes, indeed. Oh, it was such a beautifully tragic tale you fell in love with it. And it resonated so deeply with you that you felt their pain as if it were your own. What are you talking about? I wanted to tell you, my dear, but you were so convinced it actually happened to you that I couldn't bring myself to take it away. Then what about Michelle? she's not the one you're waiting for. And you are not hers either. Then what about Giselle?
Thanks for popping in, Fix. Thank you. Sweet Home Tuesday. Sweet Home Tuesday and either Rainbow Six or Roller Coaster Tycoon on Wednesday, depending on if this computer component I'm getting in the mail does the trick. Hello and goodbye. Fix just revolving doored it. Popped in, did the Simpsons, hung his hat, then picked it up again and walked right back out.
That is not your name. Then who am I? Who are you? That's a very silly question. Well, you are this mansion's cursed witch. I'm the witch? That you are. You are both the maid and the witch. But how? Do you truly believe that someone who has eternal life, who doesn't bleed when they're cut, and who can smile no matter what happens to her isn't a witch? How much of this Giselle's memories do you actually possess, my dear? Yo, Lurking Horror, we're getting into undead memory gap stuff. Memory manipulation. Giselle's brain is Play-Doh. How clearly can you remember her life? You can't, can you? You don't know what kind of story Giselle and Michelle wove. And you wouldn't, because you were merely an onlooker. What's up, Knight? Much like you are now for this present tale. And by contrast, how much of the witch's story do you know? Morgana's the most fucked up dungeon master imaginable? Seriously. Seriously. You should know it very well. Yes, but that's because you... No, my telling it to you is not the reason. The details are rooted deep within your memory. Then That's right. You are the cursed witch Morgana. But I am you. You split into two because you refused to accept who you were. Think about it. Have I ever shown myself to you? Have I ever shown myself to anybody? That's why. I am the witch? That you are. I see. It all makes sense now. Everything has fallen into place. There's one thing I still don't understand, though. This story I was so enamored with, Giselle and Michelle's story. What kind of story was it? Well, I would be glad to tell you. You look like you're ready to know the truth. I believed every word she said. All my worries melted away like they were nothing. The sight of the white-haired girl no longer kicked up waves in my heart. In fact, I found myself wishing for her to find happiness. I was an observer, watching and hoping for the best. The tragedy that befell her did sadden me, but I felt bad for her, like I would a character in a story. The phenakistoscope.
Have I ever noticed that is just a photograph before? I don't think I ever drew attention to that's just a picture. Right? Weird.
I brought you your medicine, Master.
Thank you. Just set it down over there. Yeah? What are you staring at?
My apologies. I was simply musing about how much time has passed.
Goated 68 Nigel smile 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 Goated 68 Nigel smile.
If we made a GoatedQuest iceberg chart, you know those like iceberg charts that like shows what people come in one stream, what they know, versus like that would be like Nigel's smile is gonna be so deep in the iceberg when it's all said and done. Let me actually, while I'm here, Games Bro Tay. This is Games Bro. If you guys aren't following Games Bro is a bro. Give Tay a follow. Give Night the Undying a follow. Night was just in here, gave a little sneaky wave. John Coffey Jr. They have been working on an assignment, but you should follow John as well, especially if you need a late night streamer. If you need somebody late night to pop in on, should be there. Spam waving and lurking too. Spam, are you gonna play the fucking Shadow of Rose DLC? Yo, get John to 700. So true. Is John there? Twitch.tv/John Coffey Jr. One of you better do this right now.
Be this manic if I have how much.
Gun to your head. You started it. You're enjoying it so far. Nice, nice, nice. Literally needs one. Where's Ricky Gun? Boom. Somebody do it. I'm going to refresh this page right now. I'm not fucking around. Oh,
Gaming.
where is he? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Jonathan Coffey the second. Are you here? Where are they? Working on that damn assignment.
Gaming.
John? 700, baby. Be proud. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And everybody else, too. Everybody else I shouted out deserves a follow as well. You did start it. I haven't started it yet. I said that I was going to start it in this like little bit of time off, but I didn't start it in this time off. Who else we got? Yeah, back to biz in just a second. System Zake got gifted a sub today. I saw Dr. Cheesesteak actually got a stream working again as well. And I think that's pretty much the streamers that have popped in, right? If I'm missing somebody, my apologies. You know what it's like. I'm reading a whole... Jesse was in here. Dead Blossom Jesse. Cool. And I think that'll do it for right now. We're gonna get back to it. Just sat down. What am I being congratulated for? It's because you're drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper. It is! John got the Diet Dr. Pepper. Congratulations! John, we've been keeping track of it. That is your 1,000th Diet Dr. Pepper since you've been born.
Gaming.
Congratulations, John. 1,000 sodas.
Gaming.
1,000 sodas. Can you believe it? If you can believe it. 700 followers, John. We got you there. It does come with the 1,000th kidney stone. Congratulations.
Gaming.
Yo, Knight. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much. All right. We got to get back to this. Knight, thank you. Thank you very much. Here's to 700 concussed followers and many, many more to come. Can I tell you, concussions when I was a kid? John, you honestly, like, for those that know John's stream, concussion jokes are like a through line of the whole thing. There's a concussion command. John has suffered many a concussion, and so we must be patient with them. Concussions were like the scariest injury to me as a kid, and I have no idea why. Like when I was like in elementary and middle school, just the word concussion, and it's like, yeah, your brain just kind of slammed into your skull a little bit. Scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. And like probably was like a contributing factor in why I didn't play many sports. You are always warned about them. That's true. That's true. It's always a maybe. Yeah, that's true. My fifth and right now last, the symptoms lasted for a month and a half, and I played through a 1,000-person pinball tournament with them. It was hell. I watched a buddy at Costco, and now we're off the rails. I watched a buddy at Costco get a concussion from the steel. Was down grabbing something on the floor, like on a pallet where there was steel above them, Costco steel, and stood up too fast, slammed the back of his head. Steel's a total skull destroyer, it is. Had to sit, luckily it was like furniture season at Costco. It was right after the new year. And so I sat with him, like we both took our vests off. I told the store manager, like, yo, he's got to sit. And they were like, yeah, no problem. Just take your lunch, take whatever. I think they just like let me sit. Like it was a quiet day. Crazy how your brain's just kind of floating in an extremely thin layer of fluid. It's true. My cousin got a concussion falling off a boat onto a dock head first. That's, oh my God, dude. You know, I could never watch like America's Funniest Home Videos. I replaced all the brain fluid with Diet Dr. Pepper. There we go. Bringing it back. I think Minky Moose had a few concussions herself. And so she couldn't play sports, like by the time, like field hockey. America's Funniest Light Concussions. That's what the show was. I couldn't watch it. It does not, like, that's not funny to me. It always made me really alarmed. Okay. Back to Jacopo. My screen has went dim. That's how long I haven't been talking. Whew. Oh my God, and we're in the future. This is old man Jacopo. Guys. Someone's slinging a 12-pack of bottled beer over my head. No more concussion talk. We're done. Whoop! We're done. That's it. Thank you so much for the resub night. Congratulations, John, on the 700. Hope everybody's well. Tay, thank you so much for the resub. And let's go. We're in a brain-friendly zone now. Well, kind of. We're in a like a physically brain-friendly zone, but I can't say that this game is ever a mentally brain-friendly zone. I can hardly believe it's been 40 years since you were a bright young businessman. You haven't aged a day. Why, thank you. I am a witch, after all. Well, I don't care much what you are. Yeah, you could be the Grim Reaper for all I care. You still work harder than anyone else. May I ask you a question, Master? Yeah, what is it? Why have you not returned to your homeland? I thought it was a place quite dear to you. I can't wait for her back there. Do you still believe she'll return? To a degree, I can understand how difficult it can be to wait. Though for me, waiting now brings more joy than pain. With your lifespan, Master, it will be the pain that wins out. Perhaps you should consider letting go. Tell me, was her name really Michelle? Why, yes, it most certainly was. But why would you ask such a thing? Have you forgotten your own wife's name? You have waited so long that it would seem like me, some part of you has begun to break down. You poor, poor man. You know, you look a whole lot more pitiful than me. Oh my. Oh, there you are. What has you in such a flurry, my dear? You are a noble servant. You must maintain your composure at all times. But the master, what about him? He was found, deceased in his chambers. The doctor just came out. He said it was his ailment. And it would seem the master knew his time was short, for he left a will, asking not to be given a funeral. I see. I feel kinda bad for him, though. Not only did he not have anyone at his side for his final moments, he didn't want to be sent off at all. Isn't that sad? It's for the best. There's not a single soul in this world left who could send him off. With your era drawn to an end, this mansion will soon return to existing nowhere in this world. I wonder what the next one will look like. I wonder if misfortune will befall her once more. That would be quite regrettable. Perhaps if I could convince her of her tragic fate, she would be willing to disappear from this realm with me. And if she wishes to fight that fate,
Perhaps she will become my next master. Calling her master seems inappropriate, but I cannot think of a word that fits better. I eagerly await the next era. Please do not keep me waiting for long, master.
Can I tell you, I have listened to this song so many times. I've listened to like quite a few of these songs so many times on Spotify. I just put them on. This is a great one. I like just the piano one that I posted in the Discord a lot.
Time pressed onward, and then at long last, you arrived. Oh, splendid. You have finally awoken. I've simply been waiting for so long for this moment, tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, master, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. Oh my, you do not know who I am. Do you not know who you are, either? That's quite the predicament. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. Let us be off, then, and fear not. I merely entreat you not let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. No matter what happens, no matter what you see, never again let go of this hand. That is everything. I prepared a number of things to say when she was finished with her tale, but I can't manage to put any of them into words. I almost hate myself for thinking it would be so easy, for letting myself hope I could simply pull her back to her old self, accept whatever had happened to her, take her hand in mine, and that would solve everything. The truth is so much worse than I imagined, so much more harrowing. She was subjected not only to her own terrible fate, but every single one of this house's tragedies. The tales she told me are things she witnessed with her own eyes. How can I possibly blame her for forgetting me, for forgetting herself, after so many hundreds of years? No, I should be... Why? Why didn't you come for me? Why couldn't I have returned before she was so far gone? Why? Why did you show up now? Giselle. Because you opened the door to my memories, I now remember everything. But I didn't want to remember. I didn't want to be reminded of all those empty years, of the people who passed on, leaving me behind, of you, who refused to show up no matter how much I begged. I'm not the Giselle you knew anymore. I may have my memories, but I cannot go back to that time. My hands are stained with blood, my soul worn thin. The girl who would laugh at the simplest things, who would tell silly jokes and wasn't afraid to speak her mind, doesn't exist anymore. That Giselle is dead. How can you say I'm the same girl? How can you say I feel the same way I did? How can you be sure that even now I still love you? Can you deny the possibility that I no longer yearn for you, but the white-haired girl? Can you deny the possibility that my love for you has transformed into hate? She brings her hands up toward my throat, and I make no attempt to move out of her way. When her fingers brush against my skin, they feel as frigid as death itself, far colder than anything I have felt from her thus far. If she were to wrap her hands around my neck, She wouldn't even have to squeeze to stop me from breathing. This is the fork in our road. One word will decide everything. I don't have much time. I have to say something before the cold robs me of my voice. I've been tipped off about this. I apologize. I don't mean to. I know that one of these is a timed thing, because in my deciding of the answers, of course, I'll deny it. While I was floating in the darkness, I heard a voice. Regrettably, it took me far too long to realize that it was your voice, crying for help, calling for me. You may have lost hold on your old self, but somewhere deep down you kept calling for me, which is how I found my way here. I refuse to believe that isn't real. I refuse to stomp on a love that survived for hundreds of years. By all means, hate me. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I don't care if you spit bile at me for the rest of eternity. I will not let go of this hand. Because you asked me not to. I could kill you right now. If that's what you want, then go right ahead, but I'll fight you with all I've got. Giselle, I've missed you too much to lose you again. I don't care if it makes you despise me. I don't care if you think I'm being inconsiderate. I want to save you.
But I'm not the Giselle you once knew. I'm an abomination. My mind and body are twisted beyond recognition. I'm a disgusting monster. The woman you fell in love with does not exist anymore. So, just forget about me. You are the one who should be saved, set free from me.
You look the same to me. Your manner of speaking, your temperament, your physical appearance may have all changed, but you are still the same Giselle I love.
You should have never done anything for a foolish girl like me. You gave your life to save mine, and I hated you for that. I never once considered how you felt with those knights pointing their blades at you, or what drove you to allow me to live. I should have, but I didn't. I was the one who trusted the witch, and yet I complained when you never showed up. I unfairly resented you for it. I'm a horribly self-centered person. You would be so much better off with someone pure and unburdened with all this nasty suspicion and doubt and animosity. You'd be so much happier with someone like her.
Giselle,
You've been paying attention, haven't you? You were there for all the tales I told you, for everything that's happened up to this moment. So you should know just how loathsome a woman I am. Too weak to even keep herself together.
no, Giselle.
I'm nothing compared to her.
Giselle! See, you haven't changed one bit. You still get louder and louder the more you lose your temper. Why do you feel the need to compare yourself to her?
Because she's a better match for you.
Giselle, I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting. And I want you to believe me when I say that I dearly missed you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted you back, and that has not changed. Believe me, I love you.
I missed you so much too.
She leaps into my arms, but she's just as cold as ever. Her warmth-deprived body feels like the embodiment of all my mistakes. I wrap my arms around her, and I'm immediately filled with unparalleled relief. even as she sobs into my chest, her body cold as ice. And then, the darkness parts. We are once more at the top of the observation tower. Still shrouded in a miasma of shadows, but we're back in the mansion now. We have emerged from the darkness in her heart.
Michelle,
Yes? I'm sorry. For what?
I never should have erased you from my memories. Yours are the memories I needed to hold on to tightest. I was so glad to hear you say you still loved me even after learning the truth about me. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm incredibly relieved. As I watched, it felt like you were slipping farther and farther away from me, Giselle. It terrified me. Maybe it makes me a coward or pitiful, but I was truly afraid of you coming to hate me.
I would never hate you, Michelle. Ever.
Thank you. We must leave this place.
What?
It would not be wise for us to remain here long. The air is still thick with darkness.
But the front door won't open. And even if we could get out from somewhere, what would happen to us? We finally found each other again after so long. I want to share a quiet, modest life with you. Like before. What if all that disappears when we step outside? After all, we are.
She doesn't finish, but I feel like I know what she was going to say. We're different now. She's stepped far outside the bounds of mortality, and the same could be said of me. I am. The man known as Michelle is long since dead. The mansion itself does not follow the rules of nature either. As beings no longer in possession of their proper forms, stepping outside these walls could very well mean the end of us. Well, I can't say what might lay in store, but we must return.
Even though by staying here, we could be together for all time?
I don't imagine that would be a very happy life. There's no sun here. No chirping birds, no trees or breeze to rustle the leaves. If we stay here, the nothingness will eat away at us. We've finally reattained our old selves. We need to take action now, while we can.
What if I say I want to stay here?
Then I'll drag you out.
It's almost like we've switched places. Back then it was you who wanted to stay. It's also kind of funny hearing you speak favorably of the outside, especially the sun.
The words, "That's all thanks to you," are on my lips, but before I can say them, I find myself hypnotized by her smile. That smile has picked me up so many times. She claims it's her only redeeming feature, but if she didn't have it, her life would have gone in a very different direction. I'm grateful to have gotten that back too.
Say, we're in the middle of a very, touching reunion, wouldn't you say?
I suppose so, yes.
And wouldn't you say there's a certain way these things usually go?
Huh?
Are you really gonna make me say it? I was, hoping you might, perhaps, kiss me?
What?
What? Oh, seriously, what? Where did all that boldness from a second ago go? What happened to all that momentum you were building?
About that. I think that might be more appropriate later.
Later? How much later?
After we find an exit. We're in a hurry.
Oh, you're just making excuses because you don't want to. I swear that's not it.
Giselle, let's save that for when things aren't as crazy. I can't relax and enjoy it right now.
What are you, 12?
Oh, hush. All right, fine. But you'd better keep your word, got it? Promise. Let's go then. Let's find our way out of the mansion. There, our frozen time should begin moving again. That's hopefully where our future waits. It will be. No. We'll make it so. Yes, we will. If we leave the mansion, it should release our souls as well, and in doing so, should finally provide her deliverance. So I mustn't hesitate. To end all of this, for both of us, we must start again. This is where we... What? Darkness. It's a blackness purer than anything I've experienced in the house. Not a trace of light anywhere to be found. Why did I ever think the house would let us go so easily? Why did I ever think our time in the darkness was over?
Michelle!
The darkness surges through the open door like a wave, flooding the observation tower. Like ivy growing wildly to cover every last inch of surface. Consuming, defiling, eroding. Our fingers slip apart, and concentrated rancor rains down upon us. Ah, how hideous a world this is.
No! Michelle! Please, please! Don't let go of my hand!
Giselle!
Michelle!
I said I would never let her go again. I said I would get her out of this place. I swore I would. But as hard as I try to stretch, I can't reach her hand. Just a minute, you two. Just a minute. All right. We're done with that moment.
Help, Michelle! I can't move. I can't move my body.
I went out of my way to give you a beautiful tragedy. So why must you so stubbornly insist on this ugliness? The more you struggle, my dears, the thicker and more palpable your filthiness becomes. It's sickening. Wouldn't you agree? She's always spat her bile with a song-like cadence. Singing like a little girl, chirping like a morning bird, she celebrates misery. And she watches for the worst possible moment to let out a cackle. Morgana! Hey! Yo! Dude. That was cool. I swear, you two are hopeless. Oh, I pity you. I give you my deepest condolences.
Let go! Let me go! Don't take me away from him!
The darkness seeping into her grew thicker by the moment, and its black tendrils weren't just wrapped around her, but me as well. Stop this, Morgana! Let her go? Oh, wow. Nothing more original. I need a devoted puppet to protect this mansion for me, so I can't give her up. Not even at your request. Besides, why should I give back something you threw away? Something you abandoned again and again. What are you talking about? Oh, you still haven't figured it out, my dear. Or are you just feigning ignorance for your own convenience? You always did like to withhold anything that might prove disadvantageous.
Michelle,
Giselle, give me your hand. Reach harder. Reach as hard as you can. Grab my hand. I can't do it. It's like I'm tied up. I can't move at all. She's right there. She waited so many hundreds of years for me, finally managing to reclaim herself, and she's right there. So why can't my hand go any farther? Why can't I reach her wrist, her hand, even a strand of her flowing hair? Why can't I get her back again?
Michelle.
Her voice is growing fainter, more distant. The darkness shrouds her, taking her away from me. Her arms, fingers, the hands she led me with, her smiling face, her once glowing grin, and her now more modest smile. The witch's darkness is stealing every last bit of her.
Michelle.
Stop, please! Don't do this! Take me instead of her! Why? Why does it have to be her? Why her? Morgana! Why? Because your work is done, my dear. By all accounts, as the one who resurrected me, you should have become my guide as well. But you let a silly woman emotionally manipulate you, and you gave up on cursing others. And then you threw away your life, deluded into thinking you were protecting her. Morgana, you already gave up the position once. Don't think you can just walk up and ask for it back. Set Giselle free. I'll do anything you ask. If you need a puppet, I'll be your puppet. And if you want more from me, it's yours for the taking. But I can't leave her to remain in this cursed house any longer. You certainly have let your obsession for this girl take its toll on you. I much prefer the old, pessimistic, cynical Michelle. It wasn't until I met Giselle that I truly became human. She made me into what I'm supposed to be, and I can't lose her again. Is that so? Well, you'll come to the harsh realization soon enough that everything you saw in her was just a facade. It was not. All right then. If you want her back so badly, you can have her. But in exchange, I want you to entertain me. Will you endure maddening agony for me? Will you know pain enough to make you howl? Will you face despair again and again and again? If you need her that badly, you can bear anything, can't you? If that's what you want from me, if that will allow her to see the sun once more. Brilliant. Wait, Morgana! Morgana! As you wish. Foolish boy. I was looking for a way to keep busy anyway, so I'll use you to kill some time. Find your way to me, my dear. Find your way to me without going mad or succumbing to despair. And do hurry, or she might lose her mind again. Those memories you forced her to relive, those hundreds of years spent locked away in her shell, all that fear that ate away at her, well, it's a bit much to have to reflect on with a clear mind, wouldn't you say? That's why I need to be here for her, why I have to get her out of here. That's my obligation to her. You're the one who let it go to her head, though. Oh, let go of her hand, though. I'm sorry. You can put a broken cup back together, but the slightest tap in the wrong place will shatter it again. Morgana. The witch's cackling fades into the distance, and my outstretched hand is completely enveloped in the shadows. I can't even make out the faintest outline of it. And I can't tell if I'm sinking, floating, being pushed along some invisible stream, or falling with incredible speed. My eyes are open, but they can detect nothing. The complete lack of sound is almost painful. Nothing. Anything. Anywhere. Void. My consciousness begins to drift. Vague remnants of the feeling of her hand in mine are my only link to reality, my one and only landmark. Giselle. I must get her back. She waited, enduring for hundreds, no, almost 1,000 years, and now it's my turn to act. I have to hold that resolve and hold it firm, so that I never forget her again, so that I never lose myself again, even if I'm consumed by the darkness. You must never back down. You must never look away. You must never lose her.
The story behind the story.
Hey, Master? Hello? Is anyone in there? Master? Oh, good. Welcome back. What's gotten into you? I thought you'd fallen asleep with your eyes open. I'm not accustomed to people needing my attention. Or, I suppose, talking face to face at all. This is my mansion? Giselle's right in front of me, smiling like she always did. Smiling for me. You're not hurt, Giselle? You have been alone for 10 years, but now I'm living here with you. So what do you say we do a little practice conversation? Practice conversation? What exactly do you think I am? Yeah. No offense intended. I just thought it'd be nice if you had more back and forth skills. So in short, you're saying I'm such a poor conversationalist that I need training. Hey, don't get so snippy. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying we don't talk enough, and I want to talk to you more. It's fun. No, this is an old memory, from when Giselle first returned to the mansion and we were just starting our new life together, when we were still feeling around in the dark. What exactly would you like to talk about then? Oh, each other, of course. I have nothing to say. Now, let's not be rash. It can be anything. Things you like, things you don't like. Start with something small, insignificant. Does that serve any purpose? It does, yes. The more you know about someone, the closer you feel to them, and the better friends you can become. Is that how it works? Well, now that that's out of the way, ask me something. Ask me anything, and I'll gladly answer. Her eyes are lit up like a child's. Is she really so eager to converse with me? I don't believe it. What's the matter? I'm ready for anything. Very well, I'll ask whatever comes to mind. Oh, go for it.
Whoa. Well, let's start there. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off, right?
My age? Take a guess.
I thought she said she would tell me anything. 25, maybe?
25? Are you saying I look mature?
I guess I was wrong.
Well, I am making an effort to act a little more grown up. You shot just a tiny bit too high there.
So how old are you?
20. I was born as summer was starting, so I'll be 21 soon.
You're surprisingly young.
Surprisingly.
You're just rather well developed.
Just where are you looking?
Well, they're kinda hard to miss.
Oh, for goodness sake. Well, you're next, Master. How old are you?
As I recall, I should be 27 this year.
Oh, wow. You're much older than I expected.
What did you expect?
Well, you are very mellow like I would expect of an older man, but every once in a while you give an impression of a teenage boy. For what it's worth, I mean that in a good way.
For what it's worth. Franco, I'm curious. So what I did know about this game is that there is one ending that requires a prompt response. It is a timed answer. Was that the one? And if I hesitated too long from pressing X, it would have went into a different state? Or is that still to come? I am curious about that. That's what I read. I read with regards to some of the dialogue prompts, there are time sensitive. A few of them are time sensitive. That was one of the time choices. You get 3 seconds, and if you wait, you get an ending. Okay, I think after these questions, we will load that up and see that ending. Do you think that would be a good... You want to do that? You want to just wait, ignore the denial, and go back and see just before we get too far away from that moment and it's just like a weirdly jarring thing? But thank you. I knew that was like a thing in the back of my head, but I didn't know what the context of it was.
You want to know about my family? We were pretty normal, I think. Not much interesting about us. We'd been able to get citizenship in the capital, but we weren't super rich or anything. In fact, it was because we were having money troubles that I ended up here. It's not easy for 3 women to make it out on their own.
You didn't have a father or any brothers?
No. We lost my father to a plague when I was young, and since then it's been me, my mother, and my older sister. But they're both bright, lively people. Our family motto is, "A smile can make anything better."
Maybe that explains why she can still smile now, even after nearly succumbing to despair.
I've always kind of wanted some brothers, though.
Men are more suited to physical labor, yes?
Not quite what I was going for. I feel like, I don't know, the kind of things you can ask a brother and a sister for help with are different. I'm not sure how to explain it, but a guy with broad shoulders and muscular arms is someone you can look up to, for instance. Someone who looks like they'd always keep you safe.
She's never been betrayed by family, it would seem. She can't even imagine family hurting her. She has no idea that those closest to you, those who are supposed to care about you more than anything, can be your greatest enemies. That blood is a bond heavier than any chain.
Master? I believe your brothers are still on your side.
It's been so long, but I don't know if they are.
I don't know what they think about me anymore.
Oh, I'm sure they're still your allies. You want to believe it too, don't you? You want to believe they're not enemies. Well, let's believe in them together then. Anything you want to believe, you should. It's such a better way to look at the world than the other way around. You have to be positive or one day you'll crack. Always remember to have faith so that doesn't happen.
I don't understand. She's honest about her emotions in a way I simply cannot be. She's the exact opposite of me in that regard, and yet she can still read me. I don't get it. How can she understand me like that? It's like she can read my mind. If only I could just tell her everything, make it all another page in our mindless chatter. Get everything weighing down on me off my chest.
Is something the matter?
You're cruel.
What?
I said you're cruel. I'm sorry, ignore me.
In preparation for the day you can finally go back home, you're gonna have to stop being such a picky eater.
Where did that come from?
Think about how terrible it would be if when that day finally came, you went back sickly and weak and emaciated. You wouldn't be able to enjoy yourself. You're still all right, Master. You're doing okay. So let's try to keep you healthy.
Tell me your preferences.
Whoa! How very forward of you.
Huh?
My taste in men is the last thing I expected you to ask about, Master.
Whoa, I don't recall specifying people.
Now, don't fret the details. It's only natural to be curious, so let's make it about that.
That's the last thing I wanted to talk about.
Well, all right then. Tell me about your first crush, Master.
And I have to start? Ugh, I never had one.
What? No, I'm not buying it. You were living at home until 10 years ago, weren't you? Surely there was someone who caught your eye.
There was not.
Without missing a beat. Oh, fine, then I'll go. My first crush was the son of a blacksmith. You missed the part where you asked what kind of guy was he.
Oh, this is such a pain.
Since you asked, he was a huge, muscular fellow. He was so tall he would always hit his head on the doorway whenever he came to our shop to trade.
Oh.
Nice beefy guys really are great, huh? They make your heart get all fluttery and tight.
Are you trying to imply I don't have a chance?
Though I think that was more admiration than love. You know, the way a group of girls will get together and fawn over a popular good-looking guy, it was like that.
So you're saying the buff bastard was popular?
Oh, very much so. I wonder what love feels like. I never got the chance to find out before ending up like this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get all dark on you.
Well, say what's ever on your mind. I don't deserve your consideration. Yeah, Michelle just kind of rattled that one off like it was nothing. The buff bastard. And that wasn't me. I don't know if you were tabbed out. That wasn't me just adding some shit in. There it is right there. So you're saying the buff bastard was popular. That was in the game. That was a direct line. It was my family that put you through that after all. Perhaps it is my reticence that causes her to watch her step around me. Damn. Need to come up with something to say. When I was 14.
Oh?
Well, you asked about my first crush.
I knew you had one. So tell me, what was she like?
She was the daughter of a noble family. Her name was Amy, and she was a year older than me.
Oh, love between nobility. A world I can only even imagine.
It never went anywhere.
What? You didn't try to woo her? You didn't shower her in presents? Were you by chance a late bloomer, Master?
She was my brother's fiancée.
Oh, I see.
So it was a love that could never be realized. Oh, that's sad. Not really. Besides, I don't feel anything for her anymore. And what I felt then was just impulses. Oh, I guess that makes us both inexperienced. I suppose it does. Okay. Well, I think that's enough of that.
So it is.
Do you like being here? Of course. I love it here. Being with you, being able to talk to you like this. See, that I don't understand. What? Why not? I find it difficult to believe there exists any reason speaking with me would be anything but unpleasant. Oh, you're so negative. Oh, hush. Say that, for example, instead of me, there was someone not so pessimistic here. You would rather be talking to them, wouldn't you? Oh, I really do enjoy this. Truly. I will admit, my time down in that village was, for the most part, delightful. But, oh, how should I put this? I started realizing that, yeah, I'm kind of forcing myself to fit that image. And I'm trying to convince myself that that's okay. But somehow, when I'm here, there's none of that. I wonder why that is. I certainly wouldn't know. I suppose you wouldn't. Oh, I know. Maybe I think of you as a kid now. Come again? Oh, I love talking to kids. What? Hey, now don't give me that look. What I'm trying to say is, you're very sincere, Master. You're not going to smile and then stab me in the back when I turn the other way. I can relax around you, which is nice. I see. You just blushed, didn't you? You're blushing, you adorable little thing. It's all right. You're allowed to fall for me. Is there any window in particular you'd like to be thrown out of? Oh, no fun at all. Right. Say there's somebody, maybe that was like better than me, sucked less than me. You'd probably like them more, right? Somebody that was like funnier and like not as dry, maybe like looked cooler, maybe a little more buff and muscular. You'd probably like them more than like stupid old, quiet old, abrasive old me, right? You'd probably like that more. See what I was saying, Master? With just a short conversation, I know you better than I did before, and you me. Well, that's fine and well, but what do I do with that knowledge? Huh? You don't do anything with it. It's just fun learning things you didn't know before. That's all there is to it. And what happens when there's nothing left to learn? That's a day I don't think will ever come. People are always changing, growing, so there's no upper limit to what you can know about them. There's always something new to discover. Maybe we'll be here for many more years, or maybe you'll be able to go home sooner than you expect. But either way, I hope we can keep getting to know each other until then. And of course, if you're open to it, it doesn't have to end there. We can continue getting to know each other for years to come. Oh, hey now, what are you looking away for? What do you think? Because you keep throwing me off balance. A few months ago, I was doing everything in my power to avoid her, yet now that smile of hers, it seems so oddly enchanting. I don't understand. Snowing, Tiny King? Yo, Tiny King, can I tell you something that might make you mad if the snow upsets you? Today it was 77 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be 76. Tuesday it's going to be 71. And then it hovers around like 64 degrees for the rest of the week here. Which sucks. Don't get me wrong. It's November. It's like daylight savings time has already happened. It should not be this warm. It sucks. But if you hate snow, I don't mind snow. I like the cold weather. Yeah, I bet you'd like me better if I wasn't getting sloppy steaks down at your phonies, huh? If I wasn't such a piece of shit. I said was. I was. I'm not in Arizona! Tiny King, stop telling people I have Arizona energy. You don't understand how deeply that cuts through my very core.
This is not the first time you have told me that I'm in Arizona. I'm not in Arizona.
I'm glad to hear it. Giselle, I was too awkward back then to even compliment you on your smile, to put my feelings into words.
I have Arizona iced tea energy. See, I'll accept that. Would you believe that all through high school, like, Arnold Palmer was the only thing I drank? Does that make sense? Lurking Horror. I know Twitch doesn't have like a message delete option, but if you want me to, I can delete it. You can workshop it in a couple of minutes. You can come back. Okay, no, don't. All right. I appreciate the fact that, like, you're really vocalizing the entire, joke workshop process. You'll get there. Okay, Arizona. Bet you love to slam back a cold 99-cent of delicious iced tea. Arnold Palmer. It's all I drank in high school. It's really all I drank in high school. I got it first shot. You did. I'm sorry for... I was too cynical to accept what you said at face value. Want to hear some horse shit? Arizona products are $1.29 in Canada now? No! You don't want to hear some horse shit? When stores have the plastic Arizona bottles that are smaller than the cans, they're plastic and they're smaller than the cans, but they price them higher because they don't have 99 cents right on the can. That's fucked up, John. Now I gotta use my Tim's and with a tiger blanket just to survive winter. Good luck, soldier. It is printed on the can, but it's not printed on the little plastic bottles. Let me show you. Plastic, Arizona, Arnold Palmer. These ones. And they have like the golf ball top. Right here. Boom. They're less, they're a smaller capacity. These ones, they're only 24 ounces, but places will mark them, especially in New York. Manhattan, it's impossible to find a 99-cent can of Arnold Palmer because the stores will all like the bodegas will just stock these. And they'll price them way higher. You ever kiss Arnold on the lips after chugging that whole thing? Every time. It's part of the tradition. I go, thank you, Arnold. Before I toss the can. Before I slam it on my forehead and watch the whole thing compress like this. I go, thanks, Arnold. I'm not much better now than I was then. But I will tell you this. When I next see you, I want more than anything to let you know how much I adore your smile. How much I don't want to lose you or it ever again. You must never reclaim your old selves. Become my loyal servants, always at my side. This is Willy Wonka talking to the Oompa Loompas. And curse them with me, my dears. Eternal suffering on all their souls. Damn. Ooh! Shit. Let's save here. That looks dark. Let's save here. And I'm gonna load that save and not answer that question. Okay? Okay. I have to say something before the cold robs me of my voice. And this is where I immediately said that I deny it. I deny her. But if I ignore it, if I accidentally didn't click anything, it automatically did it. I wanted to deny it. She may have forgotten me, but what she felt still remains, as evidenced by her attraction to the white-haired girl, who had many physical similarities to me. Her feelings are still there, and I sincerely believe that. But her arctic gaze caused me to waver for the briefest moment. Perhaps I only wanted to deny it for my own selfish reasons. It was only a few short seconds, but those seconds decided it all.
Farewell, Michelle.
She slides her slender fingers down my neck, then gently shoves me back.
Giselle.
I'm falling, sinking into my own darkness. I reach my hand out, but I cannot grasp anything. Her hand, the hand I held for all this time, is so far away. I try to shout, but nothing comes out. I can neither answer her original question, nor say her name. Down and down, into the infinite void. Darkness consumes everything. My voice, my hands, my very being, and her gaze. My consciousness slips away. Why? Why did I hesitate? I wish I could have at least told you that I still loved you, even if you did not love me. Dude, Franco, if you thought that was it would have been such a moment of panic.
Are you sure you really wanted to let him go?
Yes, I am sure.
Well, I see. I don't think I'll ever understand. If you hate someone, you should chain them down and torture them for all eternity. It was the perfect opportunity to trap his soul.
I do not hate him.
Oh, is that so, my dear? After everything you said, I simply assumed.
I could never come to hate him. I could never want to see him dead or tortured.
Oh ho. Then why did you say what you did?
I don't think you would understand.
Probably not. I'm not particularly interested in understanding either. It doesn't matter what happened in the interim. In the end, nothing's changed, has it, my dear? You're still my darling, devoted maid. With enough time, you will once more forget your name. What a wonderful world this is.
A moment of hesitation. That puts us at 4 down, 4 to go. Crazy. Sinister was one of the most fucked up movies I've ever watched. Sinister was a movie that all of my friends in high school made fun of relentlessly because we went and saw some movie in theaters before Sinister came out. And the trailer for the movie was like the Demon Lord, Bagul. And like, we were 15, 16, just fucking died laughing in the theater about Bagul, the Demon Lord Bagul. And it became like an ongoing joke about Bagul popping up in things all the time. And so I don't think I ever actually watched Sinister, but the movie itself is just such an ongoing joke for like my high school group of friends that I'm sure I could watch it now. But at the time, there's no way I would have been able to like put myself in a space where the name Bagul just didn't make me laugh the entire time. Can't believe there's 4 more endings. There's a lot left in this game, Nancy. Franco will tell you, we're at the top of the 3rd act, I would say. I would say we're at the top of the third act. Ending 8 is finding out the maid lied on her resume and is then fired for falsification of documents. Yeah. Black metal pseudonym ass name, Bagul. The demon lord Bagul. Let me do something really fast. Let me mute this. Check this. I'm just seeing. Yeah, it seems like we have a lot before. I think this is a good spot. I think this is a good spot where we woke up here, because that'll make next stream is going to be a pretty dense one, it looks like. Honestly, with an extra hour, we could finish this before 2023. That's the plan. I would love to finish this game out before the year ends, just because I'm the type of person that likes having, marked years. I'm that kind of person. Honestly, if I could do GoatedQuest the way I want, we would have 3 new playthroughs at the top of 2023. If I could make everything work the way I want it to, we would start the new year with a new slate completely. But who knows if that's going to happen. That's where we're going to call it for tonight. Remember, next week and all of the Fata Morgana streams before the end of the year, before the game's over, are going to be an additional hour. We'll be starting at 7 o'clock as opposed to 8 o'clock. This is just, we're going to really kind of dig in there. Going to miss next week. No problem. Thank you everybody for being here and hanging out and kind of enjoying this game as much as I have been. We're 10 episodes in, man. We're 10 episodes in, and I can't wait for it to, absolutely cannot wait for it to continue next week.